the biggest NFL game this season, possible Super Bowl preview. In fact, I'll give you the exact mathematical odds. Bills, Lions, late afternoon Sunday. I'm going to break down the side, total, teasers, Super Bowl odds, everything for you here in this free video coming up right now. Hi, this is Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com, right back here on WagerTalk TV, breaking down what is the biggest matchup so far this season, especially a non-conference matchup. And let's get right to it. Mathematically speaking, 10% chance that this is a Super Bowl preview, and I'll tell you why. 38% chance the Lions right now win the NFC, 27% chance the Bills win the a little bit more competitive AFC. So the odds of both of them winning comes out to exactly 10%. So 1 in 10 chances is a Super Bowl preview. It's not as likely as you might have thought. But I do think these are the two teams to beat right now. Obviously, the Chiefs are going to give the Bills a run still in the AFC. I think the Lions probably will win the NFC. That 38% is about right in my book. I do think the Lions could make their first Super Bowl ever. They won't be hosting it, though, like this game. And how much is home field worth? You know, on the surface, to get the Lions at home lane just 2.5, it's pretty tempting, especially below that key number of 3. But keep in mind, NFL home field's only worth about 1 to 2 points at most now. I do think this field might be worth a little bit more this week, but it's not the full 3 points it was maybe a decade or so ago. And I do rate these teams as pretty equal on both sides of the ball. 2 explosive offenses, 2 balanced offenses. I think Detroit runs the ball a little bit better. And 2 very mediocre defenses. And we saw that the last week for both teams. Just some high-scoring shootouts. 86 points. No turnovers in that Rams game for Buffalo. And then, of course, last Thursday night, a week and a half ago, 65-point game between the Packers and Lions. I, of course, gave you the over for a free play video, also a client play in that game, and also gave you the Rams outright on my Fade the Public video, and also as a client best bet. So I had both of these teams pegged pretty well last week. And one of the things I mentioned in that Lions-Packers video was that the Lions are banged up, especially on defense. Now, they're starting to get a little bit healthier this week compared to the last game, and they do have the advantage of the mini bye week because they played Thursday, where the Bills remain on a very tough scheduling spot. Had the Kansas City home win, the Sunday night snow game in which they clinched the division, had to travel cross-country for a non-conference game against the Rams, one of the reasons we faded them last week. And now they have to travel again for another non-conference game, whereas Detroit remains home for the 3rd straight week with the mini bye. So I do think the situation sets up well for the Lions. If I had to play the side here, I would lean Detroit minus 2.5 or less. However, if you like Buffalo, I think they do make a solid teaser selection. So once again, if you're playing Detroit, I like the minus 2.5. If you like the Bills, the plus 8.5 is not a terrible teaser. As long as this stays 2.5 or less, the Bills do qualify as a decent teaser. Now, it's not ideal because it should be a high-scoring game. Teasers work better with lower-scoring games. But once again, if you're looking to back Buffalo, take a look at them on the teaser. I would lean Detroit minus 2.5 if I had to play the side here in this game. As far as the total, it's over or past for me in this one. I do have some hesitations, though. First of all, total was briefly 51.5. Now it's 54.5. So we really never had that key number of 51 working for us. And 54 is actually somewhat of a key number, as is 55. We hardly ever talk about those. It's the biggest total of the year in the NFL. Over is the only way I would play it. High totals are high for a reason. The highest totals usually go over. But the fact that both teams had shootouts last week actually concerns me a bit. You know, we saw that on Thursday Night Football. The Rams came right back, and nobody could score a touchdown, basically, after an 86-point game 4 days earlier. So you do expect both teams focus more on defense this week. So that's a little bit of a hedge for me on the over. But I still like over the total if you're looking to play this because these are 2 of the best offenses, most balanced attacks in the NFL, 2 MVP candidates at quarterback, and then on top of that, very mediocre defenses. In fact, this season, the Bills are giving up 5.7 yards per play against teams that average 5.7. Lions average 6.3. Meanwhile, Detroit gives up 5.6 against teams that allow 5.7. Bills are averaging 6.1. So both offenses hold the edge. Bills games have averaged 51 points a game. Lions games have averaged 50 points a game. You say, well, that's under 54.5. Yes, but the opponents played have averaged only about 45.5. So that's about 4.5, 5. That's about 9.5 points above average. That would get you to about 54.5, 55. So in that regard, the total is actually pretty fair in this matchup. Once again, I think the odds makers did a good job pricing this game. I did expect Buffalo to maybe be a bit of a public dog. That is not the case. Public is pretty neutral in this game. It will not be making my Fade the Public video. So once again, depending on where you lean, Detroit minus 2.5 or Bills plus 8.5 teaser, I would probably lean Detroit minus 2.5 on the side. And over 54.5. Really not a lot of value left at this number, but it would be over a pass for me with the total. Hey, by the way, player props also, I would definitely look at some offensive player props over for both teams. You're going to be pricing a little bit higher than normal, but I do think both teams have some breakout players that are capable. And I look for both quarterbacks to have a good game. They're both national spotlight game here for two MVP candidates. I do think the scheduling spot is definitely tougher for Buffalo, so that kind of gets me leaning Detroit as far as the side. Hey, comment below. Just because it's the biggest game of the year doesn't mean it's a great game to bet, right? That's why I wanted to do a free video on it for you, give you my breakdown, my analysis, because I know so many of you want to play this game. It's the standalone CBS 425 Eastern game. Comment below. What are your thoughts? Side, total, player props. How are you attacking this big matchup in Week 15? I read the comments. I reply back. Include some analysis. Let's learn and earn and win together here on WagerTalk TV. And don't forget, I do have a ton of free play videos for you this week in the NFL. Have an early kickoff for you between the Saints and not my Washington Commanders. Also the Sunday night game between the Seahawks and Packers. Both Monday night football games free here for you. Bears, Vikings, also Falcons, Raiders. So check out all those free play NFL videos here on the channel. Not as much of a lean in this game as I do in most of the videos, but it's a big game, so I still wanted to give you a breakdown here. If you're finding it useful, thumbs up, like, comment below, let me know, and I will keep more free videos coming for you here on the channel. Don't forget also, some bowl preview videos are up right now. Also, my first bowl best bets of the season loaded right now. Some advanced games for this week in college football. The bowl special is available. The rest of college football for just $149. Or if you want all sports, college football, college and pro basketball, try out the 10-day sampler right now. It's the price of 7, and we included 3 more days for free. $99 normally gets you 7. We included 3 more days. You get 10 days for just $99, and that includes, of course, this Sunday's strong card. Last Sunday, perfect 6-0 sweep on my best bets for my clients, and I love the Sunday card again this week. Check it out. 1 day is $39, or get 10 days for $99. No promo codes needed. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. And while you're there, get the bonus daily free plays I post on my page as well. Steve Merrill, WagerTalk.com. Hey, get there quicker with shortcut WT.buzz/SM. Comment below, thumbs up, like. Don't forget when you subscribe, click the bell for an instant alert so you know when all the videos are loaded each and every day throughout the week. And follow me as well on social media at Steve Merrill, 2 R's, 1 L, at Steve Merrill on X and Instagram. And stay tuned here to WagerTalk TV. There's more free content coming up next.